Hey Gemini, how about a reading for you? I have to say, I just started a reading for you, and it got really crazy around here with cat in a litter box, dog munching his food, laundry, real life of your friend here doing a reading for you. But your deck is well shuffled. And let's see what the cards hold for you, my friends. Even my hair is tired from all of this air energy. I did Aquarius last night, and I'm going to do Libra after this. Okay. So we're going to pull a 5-card spread. It's a new spread. I've added a 5th card to it. This is your release. This is the wheel. It's kind of, I see the stars. I see this little spider has built a web. It has a wheel effect. The wheel is about change on divine time, turning into a new cycle here. And that also came up in the last draft of this this reading, which I just finally quit recording. Your embrace is a Knight of Cups. That's a lovely scene there, taking a swim. Knight of Cups is that classy love offer. It can be you. It can be somebody coming in to your life. Looks like it's a little fish or dolphin that is diving here next to her. She has a cup, which it could be a he. It doesn't matter. You choose. Then the addition here that I'd like to add, I was watching Russelingaround Tarot, I think is the title, with Russell. And he's teaching me quite a bit about the major arcana. I'll put that link below. I highly recommend it if you're a tarot nerd. And so why was I talking about that? Oh, he had what you want to release, what you want to embrace, and the journey between the two. And so that's what this card will be. It is a 2 of Wands, a card of envisioning, of manifesting. So this is how you get from that change, whatever that is, the wheel. Either you're waiting on it on change, and the way to cause that change is through a vision of this Knight of Cups, or we shall see. We will clarify. But yeah, we can see this this person with her chin on her hand, looking out a window, and she is envisioning. I see how the wand has green on the tips, so there's a kind of new budding idea here in the wands, in the 2 of Wands. Then we're going to look for hidden influences behind that. The Hermit. This would be something that you're not aware of necessarily. Maybe you're invited to become aware of it as you consider this journey. And the Hermit is you having learned some things, have gone through some processes, and then it's time for you to go inward and look to your own light and reflect on what you've learned on your journey in order to come forward with some kind of new truth. So you either are needing to hermit, or you have a hermit around you. This energy is around you. And the future is a 5 of Wands, which is interesting because it's coming through to me as a shift here from this kind of open window to this. The 5 of Wands is often about chaos. It's coming through to me more as like kind of resistance here, that she has built a barrier to the outside world here for some reason. So that's the future. We'll definitely want to clarify that and see what's going on there with that future. Yeah, we have many more questions, but it's clear to me that moving from either waiting for change or change coming is a process of envisioning. And then this heart-based embrace of the Knight of Cups, which I'm going to guess is informed by some hermiting time that has been very effective. That I'm going to say when you were hermiting, you came to a vision, the Two of Wands, and it led you to cause the wheel to turn. And here you are embracing what may have been your manifestation, this Knight of Cups. This could be you, it could be someone that you are bringing into your life. But then something has happened so that you are also in a Five of Wands here in the future. Sort of protecting yourself from the outside chaos, which really does go with the Hermit. Underlying, we have another 5. This is a passageway in life. The underlying here is a 5 of Pentacles, where there's a tree and it's rich with fruit, but this person is lying beneath it, starving. So 5s are perspective changes. They're passageways. Let's see here if we clarify what is going on with each stage of this journey that you are invited on by the cards. You are invited to release the wheel. What could that mean? Let's find out here from Mystic Monday's Tarot. 9 of Pentacles. This is very 3D, very much in the security abundance realm, but this is you're satisfied alone. Yeah, you have your happy little home, you know your worth. You're very secure here. There's also a 10 of Cups. Yeah, this is the pinnacle in the emotional realm. So you're at a 9 and a 10 here. That's why your wheel is going to turn, because you've reached a level and it's time for the wheel to turn. What else? The Princess of Swords. This is a little curious, chatty. I heard Geminis are chatty. So this makes me actually think this would be a card of Gemini. I don't know Gemini as well. I have a couple friends and an aunt and a grandmother, and mostly there's the stereotype that you're two people, right? The Princess of Swords or the Page of Swords is sometimes associated with social media, with watching. I see this Princess of Swords as really quite powerful. Like she has bent her sword to mirror her arm, and it's spreading or receiving all of this energy. So I think of this as a very powerful representation of this Page of Swords. It says she has truth, and she has researched this truth, and that's what she wants to talk to you about, this Princess of Swords. And she's reflecting on her 9 of Pentacles and her 10 of Cups. And this, I think the truth is coming in to her hands, and that is what turns this wheel. So we can see the turning of the wheel here. It's a very beautiful wheel image. Just waiting for the bug to fly in so you can have a snack there, I guess. Okay, that's what you're leaving behind, and it's very clear that there's a change coming. So you can't do anything about when the wheel is going to turn and what it's going to turn towards, and that you've achieved these goals in Pentacles and Cups in your emotions and in your material existence. It making me think also a little bit of the Hanged Man or the Hanged Woman in this deck. There's some kind of perspective change that the Princess of Swords signals. All right, you are to embrace the Knight of Cups. A nice swim in the surf. These are These images are making me think of like Hawaii, Pacific people. Lovely, lovely cups in this deck. Here. Clarifying this, we get a King of Cups with the Knight of Cups. Could be a Scorpio, any water sign. But a very emotionally mature person who's not a big talker. In contrast to the Princess of Swords that is in your release, she's a talker. He's reserved with his feelings, but he's very responsible too. And we get Seven of Wands, some kind of resistance, fire, water, fire, and the Moon. Sort of looking out into the unknown. This starry sky reminds me of the wheel in this, because the spider has built her web across the stars, almost as if she's connecting the stars here in knitting her web. So we get a sense in this wheel of connections that were made, and now you're sitting here in the Moon. This is your part of your embrace. You're the King of Cups. You have the Seven of Wands, which is that fiery integrity. There's a lot of integrity here. A lot of energy too, very dynamic. And then you've got this Knight of Cups, this good, true, genuine gift that is you, is your heart. And you are contemplating the larger connections in the stars here. There's a lot unknown. And so you're being really told to have integrity and to sit comfortably in the unknown and in the feelings that are coming up with that here. It's a very, very peaceful place, right? This is peaceful. This is peaceful. So we're in Pisces now. We've moved out of Aquarius and into Pisces. We're given to understand by astrologers that this means we get to rest. Our minds have been going pell-mell. They still will, because there's still things happening over there, but the sun has moved into Pisces, and there's a strong possibility that we get to have a little bit of rest. And I see this, you embracing this rest. I mean, you may need a little bit of help with that, because you still have all these ideas, all this dynamic energy, and that's about what's happening over in Taurus, where Mars is in Taurus. And I see it, this makes me think of that because of all that red going on. And Mars is in Taurus, and it's giving us our mojo to sort of make things happen. Mars gives us that, and then Taurus is just like real practical. Let's build this. So you're in a place of waiting, but you have this urge to build. The journey here is a Two of Wands, which is a waiting card. But you're ready. You've got your wands. You're ready. You're envisioning here on the way to this place that we were just visiting here, your embrace. So let's look back at this journey a little bit. This is the new card in this spread, and let's see what it shows us here. We get an Eight of Swords. This is you feeling trapped when you're not. Yeah, this might be because you were in the wheel, you were waiting for it to turn. You were waiting for that realization to come in. All she needs to do is take off her blindfold. All right, remember, it's coming in. You just have to see it. And once you take the blindfold off, you see like, oh, I'm not tied up very tightly, and it'll be easy to walk out from amongst these swords, but this requires a perspective shift. Then there was a Knight of Swords. This is somebody who is a fast actor, bearing truth, a philosophy, new ideas. He's testing the sharpness of his truth, his blade there. I think that's an interesting gesture in this deck. So you come out of the swords, that trapped feeling, and into testing the sharpness of what you know to be true, your clarity. And then you become this responsible King of Pentacles, able to really build and secure and take charge. And this is why you're still waiting. You're still in this sort of emotional moon Pisces space, but you're feeling this energy of resistance and fire, because you've got truth and you've got determination and you have vision and you're ready to put it into motion, but for some reason you are held up in the moon. You're to wait here. This is what you need to embrace. You're waiting here, water's fine to go for a swim. Yeah, so what are you waiting for? That's my question here. And maybe this unknown hermit here, maybe this is a teacher or something like that coming in. This could be another person. They are walking towards you here. Yes, everybody is looking towards the hermit on the table, except for the Princess of Swords. She's looking back at the cycle that you have completed. And then everybody is now looking towards the hermit who's over here on the table. Okay, and he's walking back. The hermit goes and he looks at history, he looks at what's happened, and he internalizes those experiences, so that you're either needing to do some hermiting yourself, or there is an actual hermit type person who is walking towards you. And you have the ideas, you have the passion, and you're just waiting here for that. Let's see, what does the hermit tell you? You get the Princess of Cups. It's a very nice emotional beginning. Again, under the moon, sitting, I see her. She seems to be holding that cup. I guess it's on her lap, but it looks like it's levitating between her hands. So she has some sort of magical power is what I keep thinking when I see that Princess of Cups. There's also a Five of Cups. This is a need to move on from some kind of disappointment. You can see there's a sun. You go in that direction towards the light. But you might need to spend some time grieving and dealing with the dark side here. This is a card often associated with Scorpio, because it has that burning up in the flames and walking out of it anew. That process of transformation, of death and rebirth, is a part of the Five of Cups. And it's always, much like the Eight of Swords that we saw earlier, it's always an opportunity to choose a perspective. Neither is wrong. We need to grieve, and then we also need to move on towards the new thing. I like how this Five of Cups shows 3 cups open towards the light and only 2 filled with the blue, is sorrow. So I see this as a very active Five of Cups. Like when you're looking at this, and also the new day is forward. But we can see on the table that the hermit is looking backwards. So still some needing to process some kind of disappointment or loss, some feelings that you're holding on to here. That's what's coming through for me. In addition, we have the Lovers. Now this can be a choice here. It can be the kind of divine love that is an ideal, a spiritual connection between spiritually mature people who have really gone through something. And if I look back on this table, there are lots of characters on the table who could be involved in this relationship. I really am not seeing that as clearly as I'm seeing you going through a process of revisiting something that disappointed you and coming to terms with that. And I really see a kind of relationship with self here that is one of recognition of yourself here as the goal of the Hermit as he looks back over what you have learned in your journey thus far. And I think until you have yourself, right, until you have healed from this Five of Cups and you are holding yourself here, your heart, the gift that is your heart, right, you're appearing here in this Knight of Cups also, and the King of Cups. So lots of images of that are coming through for me as you in your emotions and working through them, some loss, some hope for something in the future, in a way that is very powerful, very fast. There's lots of swords and wands. That's fast transformation. And that at the end of it, you are getting yourself. Now we could also read this, all these cup people here, as somebody new, somebody new, somebody old, an emotional person, a water sign who's coming into your life. You're manifesting them, or they're already in your life and you're getting a chance to work through some difficulty with this person on your way to kind of rising as a couple to the ideal aspiration of a spiritual love. And it can be romantic and spiritual, but the idea is it's mature and each person is on a spiritual journey that has changed them and made them able to be authentic to each other. So the lovers in this deck really mirrors them, instead of having Adam and Eve are often appearing in the lovers. And we have two matching pink flamingos. Sort of a queer connection, I can't help but think. Like with like. Even though the lovers, you're supposed to both be yourselves within that. You don't have to be changed to fit into the mold the other one presents to you, because they're into you as you are. So if you're getting to that, something's happened, something painful. The other person would be this King of Pentacles, this type A guy. No. But you put them through something. It needs to heal. That would be my other way of reading this. If you want your love story, my friend. Lots of people want love stories. I'm kind of seeing self-love, identity, re-examining your identity, healing stories coming through the cards right now. And I totally understand wanting to have a love story. All right, well, let's find out about this future here, the Five of Wands. A kind of card of chaos, could be creative chaos, but this image is really about somebody building some kind of a barrier from within a room where the world is outside. So, yeah, let's look at that. Where's the book on that? I kind of want to read what the book says. It's a new deck of cards for me, so if you don't mind, let's just see what it says. Okay. The warrior fights to break free from her prison, pushing against the cell window with her wand. In her panic, she has forgotten that her wand is magical. She wields it like a common stick, pushing out with brute force. The window bars are also wands of magic, and a spell holds them in place against her human strength. She has the power and magic to break free from this prison, but she is so lost in a panic, she hardly remembers who she is. She must step back and recenter herself in order to discover the best way forward. The Five of Wands indicates a time of chaos, conflict, or confusion within yourself or somewhere in your life. You are encouraged to step away from your challenges as opposed to getting lost in them. Take time to contemplate and organize your thoughts and feelings before reacting or taking action at this time. There is a solution, but it won't come from a place of anger, fear, or frustration. Find your center, and you will find the way forward. Ooh, I love that, and I'm so glad I read it because it really works well with this deck. I mean, with what we've seen laid out here on the table, that you're moving into a new cycle, but it's causing you to have to go into this hermit mode and reflect and hold still in the unknown, work through some feelings, some fears. It's a very dynamic, active, fast-looking process. And so the kind of fight that she's in to get out here against the magical wands that hold her in. I'm really glad I read that because I was seeing her putting up a barrier instead of tearing something down, which isn't wrong. It should inform when I'm wrong, it's not wrong, I'm just reading it differently from the artist, that's very likely coming in from the way that everything fits together here into your story, Gemini. So let's see about this a little bit more. We get the Slowpoke Knight. Yeah, there's this tension, and I love it. I see this when I read your cards, Gemini. There's this slow, responsible King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, earthy, practical, and then there's this dynamic energy that wants to go, and you're being held in tension between your vision and your energy to do it and this emotional, slow process that is necessary, that you must step back. And of course, I forgot, the Lovers is your card, it's you. And so getting to yourself, Gemini, is a part of this process. Whether there's a love story here or not, it's slow, it's methodical, it takes a plan, right? And this is what you were doing on your way to this embrace. You were planning, you were envisioning, you're sitting back thinking about the world that you want to make and your place in it. Not only do we have the Slowpoke Knight, we have the Hanged Woman. There's this change in perspective that is needed here, right? And remember, when we read about this card, it said she needs to step back. And remember, she has a magical wand to get out of this situation. The next card is Six of Wands is victory. She's going to get out of here, but she needs to step back and assess the situation. And then there's Two of Cups, another mirroring Gemini love story card for you in the future. Wow, this reminds me so much of the reading I did for Aquarius. Real story about, yours is different, but there is definitely a common, more broadly collective theme here of knowing who we are, of chilling out here in Pisces energy, processing all of the fast things that were happening while we were having the sun over there in Aquarius. And there's still a lot of force in us and outside of us, in our minds and in our bodies. And you're of air, of blood. You can feel this energy zinging through you. Right now is a time to sit back, to get your perspective change. There is a wheel of fortune. It is set. It is turning. It has been set in motion, right? We saw her in your release, you set it in motion. And then we see that there have been some truths that need to be dealt with, some responsibility that you need to come to on your way to getting a hold of this Knight of Cups, your heart. You're waiting, right? You're feeling this way inside. You are still beating at the wands here in the future, even as you're being told that there is a need to hermit that is underlying. You've got to work through this disappointment or loss to get back to yourself or to your true love. And it's going to take time, but here you are with you or your true love here in the future, or both. So, fantastic, Gemini. Let me know. I wish you luck on this journey, should you choose to accept this journey. It looks good. It definitely looks like you're going to be a little frustrated, and it might be that you just really don't have a choice, because there's very powerful cards that are talking about larger forces that you don't have control over in play here. There's a lot you can do on your way, but it's going to happen on the universe's time. So hang in there. I'll see you next time.